invites listeners along with her and Matt as they commit to the essential and important work of grieving for Havi and learning to parent her, not in the way they want, but in the only way they now can. This is integration, and this is also the tragedy of such loss. I feel the 1-year anniversary of your death looming, and I'm afraid of it. My mind is caught in a fog of disbelief. I'm afraid of being leveled by the intensity of revisited emotions, of the summoning of visceral memories of your last weeks, days, and breaths with us. But I'm also afraid that I won't feel enough, that I won't feel the pain deep enough or full enough. And I don't want to be numb, even if it's just a little bit around the edges. Perhaps one of the greatest challenges facing our inner life as humans today is what the renowned analyst Robert Stolorow calls the, quote, war on emotions. In our happiness cult society that decries painful emotions like grief, sadness, anger, guilt, and despair, labeling them explicitly or implicitly as pathological, how does a human not disintegrate? How does a person reconcile aspects of emotion that the dominant culture overtly rejects? How do we stay with the pain of others, including our intimate partner, if we cannot stay with our own pain? In order to fully integrate our emotions, and thus be available for the spaces between self and other, we must be aware of them. Awareness of emotions comes from noticing patterns, habits, and both external and internal sensations that are linked to feelings. Myra takes on these issues both explicitly and implicitly through her honest portrayal of grief, gently calling on listeners to not only become acquainted with grief, but also befriend grief, accepting it as part of love in lieu of trying to control, dispel, or manage grief. The brilliance of her writing is in its nuanced invitation toward emotional intimacy with grief and the burgeoning sense of purpose that must unfold in its own time in the aftermath of tragedy. If I am here on earth without Havi, I thought, then I owe it to both of us to try to have an effect on the world beyond my own family, my own little community. Ultimately, 57 Fridays is a book about unconditional grief and unconditional love. It's about parenting a child who is dying and then who dies. It's about maintaining connections beyond this world. Fully inhabited grief is one of the most important things we can practice to welcome more authentic and sorrowfully beautiful lives. My life is better for having read this book, and my life is better for knowing Havi. Yours will be too. Joanne Cacciatore, Ph.D. Prologue. I think he wants to be my friend. Probably wants to go on some runs together, I insist, countering the more suggestive lilt of my mom's query about our, quote, date later that night. Matt is the older brother of my college soccer teammate Maggie. We reconnect a few days earlier when Maggie and I run a marathon together. I have just moved from Philadelphia to San Francisco, and I figure Matt is taking me under his wing. I'm 23 years old and trying to get my footing in a new city. Long pause. Okay, sweetie, Mom says finally. Have fun tonight. We are to start the night at a West Portal bar watching the St. Louis Cardinals play the Texas Rangers in the 2011 World Series. I grab a light jacket, catch the number 43 bus, and walk a few blocks to the bar. Outside, I fumble in my bag for a piece of gum and my deodorant, which I apply quickly on the sidewalk before heading inside. It is October in San Francisco, and I have worked up a sweat between the bus ride and brisk walk. Matt is poised at a high-top table with a beer. He is wearing jeans and a sharply pressed white button-down that enhances his dark brown hair and eyes and his olive skin tone. He is so cute and so well-dressed. I wear washed-out jeans, Danskos, and a pale green off-brand sweater that I've had since middle school. He stands up, we hug, and I join him at the table. We duck out of the bar before the game is over. Matt bought tickets to see Moneyball at a cool little independent movie theater down the street. San Francisco.